Attention. The movie guys love movies.
Franciscan, a birthday corn, the birthday first DVD girl, and a puppety corn. A first a puppety corn, the shrimpies.
Isn't that right, Swedish chef?
It's time to watch the previews. No time to be uptight. It's time to be wise as on the movie guys tonight.
It's time for new releases. We hope they get them right, or we'll rip them a new one on the movie guys tonight.
Here comes another movie that's based upon a book.
To get the movie greenlit, I guess that's all it took.
It's time for Shailene Woodley. It's time for Tina Fey.
It's time to get things started
Why don't you get things started? So now let's get things started.
on the most fantastical.
Cinematical,
Three-dimensional.
movie guys, Nicole.
This is what we call the movie
guys. Showcast.
You know, my white trash came out in that song. Instead of to get the movie greenlit, I said to get.
Get
To
it.
get. I
Get her
heard
done.
Get her done.
Why isn't every show ever started with that Muppet song? Every show should open up with that.
TV themes and songs in general are kind of disappearing.
You know what I listen to on a regular basis? That my two favorite theme songs, the full versions of Welcome Back, Kotter, which I know all the words to, and WKRP in Cincinnati.
That's a
Like
good
on your
one.
iPod?
Yeah,
often?
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. At work, I'll just dial up a really great acoustic version of Welcome Back, Kotter's theme song.
John
John Sebastian playing his guitar and his deck out at his house, and you can hear the crickets in the background, which is ironic.
What was the band he sang for? Was he like the Steppenwolf? No. Was
I
Steppenwolf
don't
one
know.
again?
But
Yeah.
then WKRP in Cincinnati has like 4 verses that nobody knows about.
Right, like same with MASH.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's just like start the show and put the credits underneath while they're going.
And show.
You know, I almost want to blame Tina Fey's husband for that. Because he started doing that on her show.
The cold open?
30 Rock?
The hard
Yeah, on
open?
30 Rock. He would
I
just
think
be
it
like,
happened with, like-
click, 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 click.
I think it happened way back with Frasier, though. And then Frasier would save its theme for the end.
But he
Click,
would
click,
sing.
click, bop. Show.
How about the MASH theme? Because it was just a song, but it's Suicide is Painless.
Yeah. And you never heard that.
To wrap this into movies, do you know the
Please.
Why not? That's why we showed up.
the TV guys talk into movies? Did you know the story behind Mrs. Robinson in the theme to The Graduate? That he didn't really want to write that song, and he only wrote enough for the movie. And then the movie took off, and he had to go back and write the rest of the song.
What a great problem.
It would be a hit. Hey, well, welcome everybody to the Movie Showcast, part of the vast and sprawling movie guys empire. And can I refill your eggnog for you? Get you something to eat? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere and leave you for dead? You've reached ground zero for all things movies and comedy. We bring the two together right here on our show every week with jokes, rants, sketches, characters, bits, special guests, and more as we broadcast from the Admiral's Club in the heart of Burbank Airport's flyover zone. They don't stop making movies, so we don't stop making comedy shows about movies, which means you can get a new show every week on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and of course, themovieguys.net. Absolutely free. And we encourage you to subscribe, and if you do, still no charge. We're also on one of the fastest growing internet radio stations out there, WBAD.net, where you can hear our show Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and catch our movie reviews and articles on WBAD's website. Your hosts for the hardest working podcast on the airwaves include myself, Paul Preston, here with Lee Caius and Karen Volpe. Adam is out for 2 more weeks, but will return. But we have the very welcome return of board op Jamie, making sure we sound as sexy as possible.
Hey, Jamie!
And we have 2 big
So
guests
exciting.
this week. Later in the show, we'll be joined by a puppet named Lambert to talk
Yes.
about the life living amongst the humans as seen in movies like Muppets Most Wanted. Interesting topic. We'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah. And joining us for the entire show is stand-up comic and host of his own podcast, Left of Wrong, Jim Coughlin, everybody.
Jim Coughlin. Jim Coughlin.
Hey.
That's right.
Does that get
that's
old?
right.
Does that ever get
Never.
old? Jim
Never.
Coughlin.
Happened at my brother's wedding.
No.
Right before the priest went up, he's like, Lynn? We're like, yep, you got it.
That's about the extent of priest comedy.
Yeah.
I got to get too deep with the comedy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's but good to have you here 2 days
thank you.
after St. Patrick's Day.
That's true. I'm your token Irishman. Fill in. I'll try to be, if you want to A little bit more Irish. I'll try to do a fake
I
accent.
would like that.
Thank you,
yes.
that was nice.
I would like that.
Well, you're still drunk, right? Okay,
yes.
that's fine.
When we first met you, was it in Chicago?
No, it was in L.A.
It was in
Yeah,
LA.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you were a Chicago guy.
I knew enough of them that I mingled.
The improv Olympic scenes melded together, kind of.
Wow.
We came
Wow.
out
I'm a
here.
St.
and a whole bunch
Louis,
of
and
other-
That's
right.
my
It's the
thing, yeah.
Midwest Entertainment
That's
Connection type
that's
thing.
right.
All
That's right.
Oh, talking.
All right, well let's talk about today's movies because we never skimp on movie previews, and we have 2 new films headed your way. First
We
up,
really never do, even though we should sometimes.
There should be more skimping.
There's
yeah,
not enough
not every movie should
skimping.
get covered, but damn it, we
Tyler
deliver.
Perry's Singles Moms Club should have been skimped.
Should have been skimped.
Yeah, it
skimped
was skipped-
hard.
It was skipped by the public.
The Bachelor's Holiday or whatever, skimped.
Skimped.
That's,
I
you never get that title right.
The Bachelor's Holiday? I knew
best-
exactly what you were talking
The
about.
Best Man Holiday, which is exactly the opposite of the
Bachelor's
Bachelor. It has to
It's
do with a
bad.
wedding.
That's your title is equally as bad as their
Thank
title.
you.
They're
Yeah.
both bad.
I would
She
see
always
a
calls
movie.
it Best Friends Holiday, which has to star a dog and a cat.
I would see a movie called Bachelor's Holiday.
Right, because it's a bunch of guys getting laid.
That sounds like fun.
yeah.
I guess so.
Okay.
All right, but
Patent
actually,
pending.
what we're instead talking about today is the prequel to Insurgent. It's Divergent, which they're so sure that you're going to love. Insurgent is already in production. And later in the show, Muppets Most Wanted. And I have nothing cute, sarcastic, cynical, clever, or cool to say about the Muppets. And the great thing is, neither do they.
The world's greatest criminal has stolen the greatest treasures, escaped the greatest prisons, and he bears a strong resemblance to someone you know.
It's not easy being mean.
That's the evil Kermit named Constantine from Muppets Most Wanted.
Do we know who voices Constantine?
I don't. You know, the interesting thing about a lot of the voices who have stepped in the wake of puppeteers who've gone their way or passed on, we don't know a lot of their names. They haven't gone and become famous for suddenly. I'm the voice
Yeah.
of Kermit the Frog. Great gig, but you kind of don't know his
That's
name.
awesome.
During the preview, I thought that might have been Sacha Baron Cohen. I
Me
thought
too.
That's
Karen
the
did
other
the same thing,
But
yeah.
that's the other thing I like about the Muppet movies, that they're not piling in celebrity voices into their Muppetry. Right?
Right,
They're
the
sticking with
celebrities
it.
are just straight on celebrities.
Yeah.
And if you look at the credits, you'll notice that more than one person does more than one voice. And I was surprised that the person, who I think is a guy, who does Miss Piggy, also does Animal and Scooter and somebody else.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that I don't know the guy's name. Then I
Yeah.
feel bad.
I do, too.
It's a lot of work.
We'll
and
look
he's
that
doing
up.
it. He's doing it well.
Well, Frank Oz was the original voice, and he would have done. He would have done.
Did
Miss
Frank
Piggy.
do Miss Piggy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Fozzie.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Gonzo?
That's the other one this guy does. So maybe you have to sign on for that group. Maybe that's what you
Perhaps
do.
it's a track. You
Yeah.
know, it's your track in
Right.
the show, in
Yeah.
the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
But let's talk briefly about the Phoenix Film Festival.
let's
We've
do it.
talked about it on the show here a number of times. We are going there. Jim, I don't know if you're aware of this. You ever been to the Phoenix Film Festival?
I have not. I've been to Phoenix.
You're wearing a
Oh,
shirt
good.
that has a film on it that you made,
Yes, the
but it
human
never played
being.
at the never played at the Phoenix Film.
Yes, I made this a long time ago. I've moved on with my life, but it's recently been put online at humanbeingmovie.com.
And that's
Cool.
BEEING.
Right.
Because the plot is
I play a mad scientist in the 1950s, late 1950s, who's made the worker of the future, which is a man-sized bee.
Oh, that's great. The worker
Yeah,
bee.
yeah,
Perfect.
that's exactly right.
I could see you as a mad scientist, too.
Yeah, thank you. I take
very
that as a
calm today.
compliment.
Type
But-
girls doing.
yes. Now at the film fest, we're gonna be there, and this week I'm finally gonna find out exactly what we're doing, which will be fun. But I know
We're going to be there.
we'll be hosting some of the
they
films.
like it or not.
Be doing some Q&As, giving out some giveaways, and hopefully finding time to do our show in there. We'll see. We'll be interviewing celebs, making some videos,
We're going
and having a
to get
grand
Lee
old
some
time.
dates. It's going to be awesome.
I need some Phoenix ass.
Yeah, he needs
That's
some.
what we're talking about.
Nice.
What-
I thought you
what's
said
the college
me,
there?
I thought you said get me some dates. I'm like, wait a
Gonna
second.
get me some dates.
Lee,
No,
Lee.
Lee.
Sorry,
Lee.
Jim.
Lee
Sorry,
and
Jim.
me, they sound
Sorry.
so alike.
We'll send some back. We'll bring some back with
yeah.
us. We'll bring some Phoenix ass back with us for you to enjoy. Oh, and I wanted to bring this up. If you want to be that hotshot, who like, oh, don't you know this movie's coming out? And you're like, I saw it already. Then you can do that if you go to the Phoenix Film Fest. A couple of movies coming out playing there before they get national
Oh, we
release.
can do that. Nice.
We can do that, absolutely.
I'm gonna do that.
Disney Nature's Bears is one. They put out a movie like every Earth Day, and it's under this new Disney Well, it's not new. They're like 7 or 8 movies in. The Disney Nature label, where they make a whole film about something in nature. It's pretty amazing access they get. I saw the only one I've seen is Chimpanzee,
Oh,
But
yeah.
they're basically following a chimpanzee who has a whole story. I mean, they're not giving the guy a script. He's just having adventures. Next thing you know, he's involved in some big thing.
So it's reality television with animals?
Yes, but that's much more interesting.
That's what they did in the 60s.
With Marty Stauffer, right? Wild America.
Wild Kingdom.
Wild Kingdom was with
Right? Oh.
Merlin Perkins.
Marlon
But I mean,
Perkins.
We were talking about
Disney,
the Disney ones.
Disney
Yeah.
has always done.
But
yeah.
you know what they did back then? Of course, the bears would get into the cabin and this little feller's got his hand stuck in the honey pot. And then they'd have like a whole big adventure.
Right.
These are just, they're out in the woods having their life. And somehow these photographers aren't annoying them or changing what they do. I don't know how. But anyway, that opens the 18th. But you can see it at the festival a couple weeks in advance and be that guy.
That's definitely the movie I want to see first. Be like, I saw the movie.
Yeah, because
That's the Teenagers Bears.
it doesn't matter if Iron Man. Wait, is there another Avengers movie coming out this year?
Not this year.
No, I have to wait.
And probably not at the Phoenix
Well,
Film
Captain
Festival.
America's coming out. But they're
When's
showing,
Iron Man coming out? I want to see that next week.
he'll
at
be
the
in
festival.
Avengers 2015.
All right. We'll have to wait.
The Avengers isn't playing at the Phoenix Film Festival.
I'm just looking for Iron Man. That's all I'm
Oculus
looking for.
is playing at the Phoenix Film
Yes.
Festival, an April horror film that opens on the 11th that you can see a week beforehand, and then again be that guy.
A week early.
But you can be that guy to little kids, I guess, with
Yeah.
Disney. You can go, but face, little kid,
Hey,
I
I
saw
saw
Bears.
that animal
Bears.
movie. You didn't see it
You
yet.
didn't see it yet.
You
can't
don't even know what's
afford
going to
it.
happen. I know what's going to happen.
I know that there's bears in it.
I know when you're going to cry. 32 minutes in.
When I did,
Wussy.
Yeah.
when Mama Bear died
Oh my
because of
gosh.
hunters.
No, all right.
Probably
Let's talk
happened,
about this
right?
terrible
I
movie,
haven't seen it. It's not a
Divergent.
spoiler. All right.
All right.
Well, first up this week,
Bears
and I should
die.
mention
Yes.
also that Disney Nature Bears is narrated by John C. Reilly.
Hi, I'm Captain Steve Brule.
Now, first up this week, oh, hey guys, I haven't mentioned this yet, but Friday is my birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday!
And you know what I'm getting? It's Divergent.
Sorry,
apparently.
Paul.
Sorry.
Hmm.
That was quite a pregnant pause.
It'll at least be nicely wrapped.
Yes.
Just 2 weeks after 12 Years a Slave took home the Oscar for Most Improved Conscience, Hollywood finally has turned to the topic of white injustice as Caucasians get chased and beaten in Divergent.
Divergent has timed its release to coincide with White Future History Month, which is traditionally celebrated upon the release of a Twilight movie or one of those Beautiful Creatures movies, of which there probably only is actually one.
Thank God. Divergent takes place in futuristic Chicago, where the population is divided into 5 factions based on their personalities. And if you know Chicago, then you know those personalities are politician, butcher, city worker, craft brewer, and improv student.
Yes.
We can't agree on universal health care, so I don't know how the hell we'll ever accomplish all this population division. But when you don't fit into any of these societal categories, you are deemed divergent, meaning nobody understands you, nobody likes you, and you're ugly, teenager.
Now, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, divergent is either 1, an adjective meaning tending to be different, or 2, divergent, the title of an upcoming movie. See also Irony, The Hunger Games.
I swear we just saw this.
Now, it's based on the young adult novel of the same name.
As if you hadn't already guessed that.
As in the Hunger Games, the world has been reconfigured physically to represent every teen's view of it. A burned-out hulk of oppressive wreckage trying to tell them what to do.
Right, so let's count the ways in which this story about a young teenage girl who excels at hand-to-hand combat and is living in a misguided dystopian future while fighting for her very survival tends to be different. Did I mention that the character's name is Triss? You know, they actually passed on the original title, Derivative.
Young outcast, can't seem to fit into society, so instead of joining the drama club, decides to go underground to join a rebel army dedicated to saving society and protecting other divergents like herself. That's not copying the Hunger Games exactly. It goes back even further. Where have I heard that plot before?
The island of misfit toys.
I love his voice.
The question is, will you like that better than this or not?
If those started fighting, the toys started fighting, I would have had it, yeah. Actually, Paul, I think I understand this now. So let's check the young adult adaptation scoreboard to get the differences between The Hunger Games and Divergent. Now, in The Hunger Games, the characters live in a future where the government takes young, mostly hot and sexy people and forces them to compete against one another to the death. Now, in Divergent, the characters live in a future where people are divided into categories based on how young, hot, and sexy they are. This is completely different.
Of course. No, thanks, Lee. Also, the tests of skill in Divergent have all the intimidation of walking through a haunted house and then having your panicked screams mocked by Ellen DeGeneres.
Shailene Woodley plays Triss, our heroine. She's fearless, like most teenagers, but she's not apathetic. So I'm not sure how the teens of today are going to be relating to that, but they seem to be going with it.
Lastly, much of the filming took place in Chicago, and from the looks of this trailer, the scariest thing about the future is that every last trace of the Chicago accent has disappeared. We think that is a mistake.
Hey, Ma! Guess what? I'm Divergent!
Hey, don't talk to your ma like that over there. What do you mean, Divergent?
I just go take a pill for that and get out of here.
Yeah, I got 2 tree guys coming over to watch the game later.
Divergent.
And that was the dumbest thing I've ever
It was almost the stupidest thing we've ever done.
I've seen dumber.
Stay tuned, people. It might happen.
All right,
I didn't know how long the die was going. See, I still cut out early. I just don't commit to it.
Paul's just fucking with me now.
Discount double virgin.
I had a double virgin once.
Oh my goodness.
They were twins.
Oh, like the Divergent twins.
Did we have the
like
fanfare
gum?
music at the end there?
Oh
We're good?
yeah. Ta-da.
Oh. Would you like to tell me about your twins again? Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Hey now. All right, enough of that.
I like to know when we're done.
Excited to
Right.
get out of that
Yeah.
preview that we didn't even do the music.
It blended in, I think, to the adventure
But you know what
music.
it was like? What that was like was when you're stopping at a stop sign, but
Yeah.
your car doesn't quite roll back, and so you don't have that feeling of satisfaction that you've actually stopped. So you have to hit the brake again and roll
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah,
I didn't
we
hear.
don't-
I didn't hear the music. So.
Right.
We don't want to keep going.
Well, officially.
Oh, thank
There
you.
you
All
go.
right.
There you go. This trailer has a lot of the acting that, mentioned Beautiful Creatures, and of course Twilight has this too. This is a super serious way of being.
Dower up.
Like there'd be 3 vampire types looking at a crowd of other vampire types, and they don't even look at each other. They just, are they aware that the crucible is coming? Yes. Today we shall fulfill the prophecy. I don't think they're ready. They'll be ready by the... it's like all that so serious and just
At least they're not
monotone.
snarky. They didn't seem snarky.
No.
Like
Yeah, they
Veronica
didn't have.
Mars. Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of personality. You're right.
And a lot of green screen acting, it felt like.
Point.
Felt like a lot of green screen acting.
Oh, yeah?
But no archery. Is there archery?
No.
Because
man.
I'm only going if there's archery.
I think they're losing out there
Jim
because...
brings up a good point.
Yeah.
Avengers, Brave, Hunger Games, archery's in.
Yeah. If you're going to look like the Hunger Games, give me what the Hunger Games gives me. What I most want is archery.
Americans
have,
love archery.
They should have Catrice there.
Catrice.
Shoot a arrow or something at somebody.
Yeah. At least Gina Davis could do a cameo.
Ooh,
Right?
yeah.
'Cause
She's Olympic caliber.
Like
Very
9
good.
feet tall. Be the tallest one on screen. But they did shoot in Chicago, right? That's what the
I
That
know
is
it's hard to
what I
tell,
discovered.
like you said.
So I know there's green screen, but I think there was also going to be. They got a whole scene that takes place in and off of the L. With the L train.
They needed a setting for dystopian future.
And they didn't
So
go
they
to
went
Detroit?
to the best parts of Chicago.
Right?
Because I'm from St. Louis.
Oh.
Right. Oh, I see. You're the Cardinal fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But this
he's
is
giving
this is based on a book, and I think I've discovered why movies are doing so much better than books. Because when I was doing a little research for this, I
Yes.
went and I Wikipedia'd both of them.
Well, then
And
you know it's true.
Then I know it's true. And the plot synopsis on the Wikipedia film version is about 3 or 4 lines long. If you go to the Wikipedia book plot synopsis, it's like 4 pages.
Those readers.
Oh, man. Who's going to go see that movie? if it's
Fancy
4 pages?
book learning?
Yeah, I don't need all that crap.
Now, Karen and I were having a discussion about Divergent in that there are so many movies now based on books, and now when musicals come out,
They're based on a movie. Right.
So
based on the book.
people are
Based
afraid
on
to
a
do
book.
anything new
Aye.
because it won't go to that whole level of being all these different things.
But it has gotten to the point that it is absolutely ridiculous that literally everything in the theaters is based on a book.
It's because of money. They want to make sure that they've sold it in some way before they put all this money into making it into a movie.
But I don't know anybody who reads.
I don't either.
It's our friend of the show, Mike Nichols, his
Yeah.
theory on trailers. Now, the fact that they give everything away is just because now, hey, look, your money's well spent. You don't have to worry about it. Here's the ending. Your money is good. Spend your money on our movie. Here's the trailer that shows you everything. You don't have to sweat.
Yeah.
Like, what if it has a bad ending? Don't worry about it. Here it is.
Here it is. You already read the book. You
Hey.
like the book, right?
And it's the same theory that's like, hey,
That's
this is
true.
based on a book, so they'll come out and see the movie, so let's just make the book instead of write something
Makes
new.
sense. Makes sense.
Anyway, but as I said, like, this is based on a worldwide bestseller. So I thought, I live in the world.
You do.
I never heard of this book.
No.
Like we were just talking about.
Neither have I.
I've been to the airport bookstore, and I don't know what Divergent is. I'm beginning to question just what qualifies a book as a bestseller. Next thing you know, you'll be telling me that The Hunger Games was a bestseller, Twilight and Lord of the Rings were
Paul,
bestsellers.
those actually were best-selling books, actually.
Oh, so a best-selling book is any book that can be made into a movie.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, now that you put it in movie terms, I hear you. I just don't know anyone who's read Divergent.
Not to interrupt, but I actually have read it.
What?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Divert the
That's
book?
crazy.
Wait, you read it? What? We got a guy here who read the book Divergent? Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is a Movie Guys exclusive.
Wow.
Went all out for that one, Paul.
This is quite a scoop.
exciting.
Okay, now listen. So let me ask you, if you've read
Yeah.
Divergent, are you a teenage girl?
No.
Then do you have a teenage daughter?
No.
But yet you've read the book Divergent?
Yes.
Can you not go to the movies because you're a registered sex offender?
No.
Well, you really should get registered.
Wait
No.
a second. I'm going to go back, guy who read the book. So these books you speak of, do you have to go to that place that smells like BO, where the homeless people go to get their free internet?
Taco Bell?
No, the place where white trash rents their movies.
Oh, the library. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You don't have an iPad, do you?
This is fascinating. Now,
Wow.
guy who read the book,
You can call me Jim. You have the whole show.
guy
so
who
far?
read the book, in these books you're talking about, or pre-screenplays as we call them,
Right.
Yes.
obviously they haven't really been edited, these books, right? Otherwise they'd be shorter, like when they inevitably become a film, right?
Well, see, there's actually a reward in being able to expand the story beyond the 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
Are you Amish?
Wait a minute. I do have a legitimate question. How does an explosion happen in a book?
Good question.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
Actually, much like they do in a script, they'll just say something like, then there was an explosion.
So why don't you just write the script? Why would you write the book then?
See, there is enjoyment gotten out of like creating the story in your mind.
Oh, now I get it. It's like a mind movie.
Mind
movie.
Yeah, well, you don't always have to compare it to a movie.
The guy who read the
It's a
book,
You
is
don't have
there
to.
is there like a book flicks or something for these mind movies? Like if I want to watch a book on TV?
Are you homeschooled?
Are you a Jehovah's Witness?
That's an excellent
No. I was
question.
wondering
because there's
because-
got to be
the
some
other
reason.
day I was watching
You're
this.
only going
You don't
back
make
to
any
Gutenberg's
sense.
printing
Why would
press
you
for all
leaf
of your
through these
entertainment.
things?
You know what?
Actually, hang on a second. Obviously, these questions could go on for days about these books
Yeah.
and why, as an adult, he's still being forced to read them.
Right.
I go to a community college.
Oh, right.
Of course.
Well, there you go. That
makes sense.
That's where I did all
Okay.
my reading too.
Why didn't you just say so at the beginning?
Yeah, I got credit for reading it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a whole course at Cal Polytechnic, I think.
Enough book talk. All right, let's we gotta move on.
You know what's fun about books? Bookmarks.
True, you really don't have them in movies.
Most of mine had movie stuff on them. though.
You're so stupid.
My Star Wars bookmark.
Batman, yeah. it was that
Oh
kind
my
of thing.
God! When you're reading Divergent, you'll get the Divergent movie bookmark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All right, look, we have more movies to talk about first and foremost. We're not the pre-screenplay guys, after all. Our next film is Muppets Most Wanted. Oh, you know what I love about Muppets?
I get older, they stay the same age. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
All right, Lee and Karen, why don't you take this one?
That was awesome. Very sexual.
He won an Oscar.
Oh, he's so sexy. Kermit the Frog was framed for a crime he didn't commit and sent to prison. Now a free frog, he sets out to even the score with the help of a souped-up car and a ragtag bunch of friends.
I'm sorry, Karen, I think you're confusing the Muppets Most Wanted with last week's Need for Speed.
Am I?
Yeah, I think so. In A Need for Speed, you'll remember the lead character was framed for a crime he didn't commit, and then he was sent to prison. And what happens in this movie?
Kermit is framed for a crime he didn't commit.
And then he's sent to prison.
Yeah, but
But then he gets out, and with the help of his friends, he sets the record straight.
Yes.
Okay, kind of sounds like the same movie.
in Need for Speed, nobody's having sex with a pig.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, Lee, enough of this. Okay,
right.
get out of here. I got this. Let's start this one over. Okay, here we go. Muppets Most Wanted. All right. Muppets Most Wanted is the sequel to 2011's Muppets reboot, Muppet Origins, Bunsen Honeydew.
Waka waka.
Well, it's a good thing this wasn't released over St. Patrick's Day weekend, or it might have been called Muppets Most Wasted.
What was that?
It's called the medium sketch.
The medium sketch?
Yeah, it wasn't rare and it certainly wasn't well done.
Abandon cynicism, all ye who enter the multiplex this Friday, because there's a new Muppet movie in theaters, and dark thoughts have never met a greater foe. As it premieres this Friday, it's also being airdropped into the Ukraine to make everyone calm down and increase the country's levels of spontaneous sing-alongs.
You know, I'm really gonna enjoy it tonight.
You plan to like this show?
No, I plan to watch television.
Those guys.
Everybody loves the Muppets. In fact, hating the Muppets would be like hating the stars on the American flag because there's just too many of them.
There's an old adage that I just made up.
Yes.
You can get syndicated, you can open big, you can make millions, but nobody's truly made it until they're in a Muppet movie.
Oh, yeah.
And so it is with Ricky Gervais and Tina Fey. Welcome to success, guys.
Also, it's a well-known fact that turning down the chance to appear in a Muppet movie is like saying you hate Jews. Either one is going to make it really hard for you to get work in this town.
Gervais plays a Frenchman with a British accent, a point I am sure none of the American audience will notice.
The IMDb.com listing of actors appearing in this film goes on for pages and pages. In fact, the movie has such an enormous cast of cameos, we're concerned there won't be anyone left in the audience to watch it.
What do you suppose they call that? A novelty act?
I don't know, but it wasn't too bad.
Well, that's a novelty.
I like it when they kind of like my joke. It makes me feel better.
By ripping it and then laughing at themselves. That's how they love your joke. Now, by having all these celebrity guest stars, is this some long game marketing plan so all the kids who go see this film now will eventually want to follow the adult careers of Zach Galifianakis and Tina Fey, Diddy, and Ty Burrell? Oh. Or will this lead to the eventual disappointment that happens when kids become adults? Hey, remember Selma Hayek from Muppets Most Wanted? Yeah, she was a lot hotter when I was 7.
The hardest thing about watching a Muppet movie trailer is trying to crack wise about it afterwards. I mean, it's a movie with puppets. I mean, how critical can you be about a movie whose whole premise revolves around a talking frog puppet and his puppet friends?
You know, the second act seemed to drag a bit, and the narrative through line lacked in any real story cohesion.
Really? Did you happen to notice the plot was based entirely on a misplaced mole on a frog's face? The movie is about puppets walking around in the real world. All bets are off, man.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
And there's still no sex, no swearing, and no other raunchiness which might expand the audience for the franchise. They don't care. Guess we'll have to wait for that Avenue Q film trilogy.
Muppets Most Wanted. If there's no John Walsh Muppet, then I'm not going.
There we go.
John Walsh?
Yeah.
Like America's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
That was the joke.
Welcome to the joke. Thanks, Jim. Jim's giving me a Statler
I should
right
totally
there.
pay attention to what's going on.
Oh my God, I wish you had a drop for that. What's wrong with him? Apparently he didn't get the script.
Like, you know what? I should let that thinking happen up here.
I love that you just said it as if I looked because I went,
Oh,
oh shoot,
coincidentally.
I read it wrong. I'm
Isn't
thinking,
that
did
the
I
guy
say
who
Jeff Walsh or
wasn't
something?
he the guy that hosted America's Most Wanted?
He's the guitarist for
I
the
think
Eagles.
he might have.
I swear to God, I went, oh, I read it wrong.
No,
He's right.
sometimes I
read
put these things together while we're doing the show,
Yeah.
and it usually stays up here, but every once in a while it comes out here. And
That's because it's the
Good to get it
Muppets
out.
and it's exciting.
Hey, who's this Lee think he is? One of the movie guys? Hey, I'll tell you what the guys is. The guys is he's pretending to be a comedian. All right, enough.
I'm a little
Oh my
embarrassed.
God,
Just
so
a little
that
embarrassed.
was
Ain't no
awesome.
thing. That show's canceled. You don't know. You have to know who John Walsh is.
No, but the
It aired
Muppets are
for a
still
long time.
around.
No, but the Muppets Most Wanted, that's a great joke. It just occurred to me how great it was.
Did
but
you
then
write this joke?
I did not.
So what did we learn today? If there's no John Walsh, we're not going to this. And if there's no, what, for Divergent, we're not going to that? Archer.
Archery.
No, archery.
So you have it, ladies and gentlemen, free from us. We will hand over this idea to you. John Walsh, the Archer. There's your next movie.
Greenlight.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a book,
Oh, yeah.
they'll greenlight it.
I'm
You know what?
wondering-
You sent a bunch of archers out to find America's Most Wanted.
Hunt
Oh my
them
God.
down. Hunt them
Yeah.
down.
You know what? When my
arrows.
family was growing up, when my family was growing up, when I was growing up, my family were deer hunters, and there was a whole different season for bow and arrow.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a different season. You could have them going out.
Yes, you could hunt bow at a different time than gun.
Yeah.
Well, because
I
you don't want
have-
the hunters to be, on
Shooting
unequal.
the bow and arrow guys.
Well, yeah, unequal footing.
I have a friend whose family wasn't like that, and then they married into a family like that, and so suddenly her stepsister said, "I want you to see my new bow," and she thought she was being country about her fiance, but it was her new compound bow she wanted her to see.
Did that pilot get picked up?
It did.
Oh, I can't wait to see that show.
4 seasons.
My new beau.
Totally going to be on Bravo, right? This is a Bravo show.
Yeah.
I married a hillbilly.
My new beau.
My new beau.
Yeah. Literally, she gets Christmas cards with a whole family in camo.
Are they standing in front of the dead deer?
Probably.
We used to do that move.
The card is made of deer skin.
Yeah.
That was
It's an
old,
ear.
that was an old Bob Goldthwait joke about how he used to remember he grew up in the same type of family, but he was running around the house all happy at Christmas time. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny. Then he would turn around the corner and they're hanging upside down in the garage. It's a dead
Yeah.
deer gutted
Yes.
with
They have to
blood
let the
gushing
blood
from its
gush
red
from it.
nose. You know.
And that's the Muppets.
That happens.
And that's the Muppets. Actually, get back to the Muppets Most Wanted. I'm
Yes.
glad this story is about Kermit. I don't know how many of you guys saw. Oh, damn it! Now what is the name of it? The short that played
Take
before
Manhattan?
Frozen. It was
Oh,
Oscar nominated.
I didn't see him.
It was called Get a Horse,
Get a horse.
Well, that was great.
Yes.
and it
with
starred Mickey Mouse,
Right.
which needed that property is the greatest Disney property there is, and they based the whole company on Mickey Mouse. Yet he hasn't done anything amazing in a long time. And Get a Horse is amazing. It's a great comedy animated short. And so I'm hoping, make this all about Kermit. I think that's great. Kermit's the leader
Yeah,
of this
he
whole
is the
gang.
star. He's everybody's.
Yeah.
He's got to be your favorite.
But you get lost into other stories of wackiness because he's kind of the crazy host of the show, and then your Fozzie goes off or Animal has some crazy adventure. But this is good to see him zero in on Kermit.
For me, Kermit's always been able to pull it off and always been able to carry it. But Mickey has never been able. Mickey has always felt like Seinfeld. Because you watch Seinfeld not for Jerry, he was okay. Yeah, you watched it for everybody else
clicking
around.
And
Well,
there's no music there.
Mickey was really mischievous, right, at the very beginning, and then he became so popular that there was like this pressure to make him be respectable, and Donald Duck could be the one that did the crazy stuff. That's a little
And then they brought on the
early animation
nephews.
film history.
They brought on the nephews because they could be crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're kids.
They're kids; they can get away with that.
And has a
Donald's
Muppet movie ever failed? Has it ever not been a success?
Knock on wood.
Because I'm curious as to why these don't come out
the
every
Richard
year.
Donner version of Muppets Take Man. No.
Muppets Take
John
Manhattan.
Walsh
The Donner
version.
cut?
The Donner cut.
Yeah.
Muppets Most Wanted.
I don't. Was Treasure Island any good? I don't know. I know Christmas
Maybe that
Carol was a
question
It's hard
answers
to believe
itself.
any of them were bad.
I know.
Which is all I'm saying is it feels like they should be making these more often.
But it probably would have been the post
Maybe that's
Jim
why they're good.
Henson period was probably right
I'm
after.
thinking the 2011 reboot was hey, we're back with regular movies.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get another one of these in 2 more years.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
that's what's great about it. 2 more years. There's time to make it great.
Yeah. Well, they Steve Scholes, contributor to the show, certainly said you could say they're back, but they haven't gone anywhere. I mean, he said in the time between movies, they did that online cover of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know if you saw that. If you haven't, Google it. Several appearances on Jimmy Fallon, and they just did a Lipton tea commercial for the Super Bowl. So they're always out there. But
you know what this does for me?
No, tell us.
It provides another opportunity for what I consider to be the greatest comedic thing ever.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it, which...
Here, I'll try with this.
Well, you want to give it a shot?
Work.
Before I mention it, can we try and actually make it happen?
All right, let me try it. Ready? I'm going to do it right beside you.
Isn't that is probably the funniest thing? I don't know how it read on camera, but
Well,
for me,
on audio,
Jim,
there was a thud. That's
Jim
all.
doesn't know. For me, one of the funniest things in the world is a Muppet flying through the air and crashing into the wall.
Yes.
It's
Gonzo is your normal go-to for that.
Oh, I
Shot
love
out of a cannon,
chickens, too.
right? Shot out of a cannon, crashing into something.
Limbs akimbo.
Speaking of,
yes.
I believe it is the Gonzo part of this. Even if this wasn't a Muppet movie, I would eventually see it, probably on DVD, just because I see every movie eventually that has Salma Hayek in it.
Oh.
And she's got a quick little thing, and
Oh, really?
I haven't.
I see how
now
it is.
I resist certain ones, like I have not seen Grown Ups 2, but I will see it
Fools Rush
eventually. Yeah, I think I
Matthew
did see
Perry?
that.
You
Yeah,
have to be very careful when you see this, because if you go there and Salma Hayek's on screen, you have to keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, I
mean, don't even do that.
I
Just
follow
keep your
strict-
hands up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Never mind.
no compromise. I wouldn't do that.
No, all right,
That's
good.
kind of a sick.
Hottest Selma Hayek movie? She's hottest in From Dusk Till Dawn, right? With the snake.
Yeah, but she's naked and lesbian in Frida
Frida.
Kahlo.
But isn't she
Yeah.
all hairy in that?
Yeah, you get over the eyebrows though when you're looking at other
I thought
places.
her pits were hairy.
Well,
There
that
may
doesn't.
be.
You know,
I mean,
that's
if your
nature.
eyebrows
That's
are
nature.
touching.
Yeah, if your eyebrows
Yeah.
are touching, then your pits are probably groomed or grown in.
Well,
too.
you know what? That's if you shave your eyebrows, you have no eyebrows. If you have them grown together, that's just one eyebrow. So
That's
it's not
true.
really.
She actually
hairier.
has fewer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fewer eyebrows.
Eyebrows. I love that you're so in love with her. You figured that out. Thank you.
Well, listen.
Also, there's a movie where she does archery, but I won't. Very obscure.
Which would be the greatest movie you've ever seen.
Yes.
Now, there are about 13 new songs. Well, not new songs in Muppets Most Wanted, because there are some funny covers as well. But it's about 13 times the Muppets are going to just bust into song. Yet only one of them is about rainbows. You know, leading to the question, why are there so many songs about rainbows? And we can only think of 2 songs that have ever been about rainbows, really.
Turns out.
And we'd like to sing both of those for you now, just to cover all of them in a little mashup, a poorly conceived idea put together by my nephew. A little something called our big mashup Muppets Most Wanted finale. Here we go. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions,
land that I've heard of once
rainbows
in a lullaby.
How about that? They go together.
Wow, fantastic.
wow.
That was awesome.
Different.
I should say so. So many of these songs are long and boring.
Yes, they finally managed one short and boring.
Does that mean they're getting better or worse?
All right, enough of those guys. We'll be back in a second to talk to our second guest of the day, Lambert. Now, Lambert is a puppet living among humans, and as we mentioned in the preview for Muppets Most Wanted, that's pretty amazing. Yet something taken for granted in every Muppet movie. We'll get down to the to how easy it is to get along for a puppet here in the human world right after this short 10-second break. Here we go, everybody.
It's beautiful country out here.
A frog and a bear seeing America.
Moving right along in search of good times and good news. With good friends you can't lose.
This could become a habit.
Opportunity knocks once, let's reach out and grab it.
Yeah.
Together we'll nab it.
We'll hitchhike, bus, or yellow cabin.
All right, we are back with a real live puppet for the first time ever in the movie Showcast. As I said before the break, we're excited to learn what it's like for a puppet to live among humans. So please welcome, like Cher, like Prince, I imagine, it's Lambert, everybody.
Yeah.
Lambert.
Now, Paul, I have a question right off the bat.
Great.
Can we say real live puppet?
Sure.
Is that
That's a question more for me, I
all right,
guess.
sorry. Yeah, Lambert, I was talking to Paul, but
Oh, yeah.
if you want to answer, go ahead. No, it's. I mean, so you're a real live puppet. You're.
I am.
Okay. Wow.
There's a difference, of course, between live and alive.
Hey, Lambert, into the microphone, honey.
Oh,
Yeah, we
No,
can't
I'm
hear
picking
you.
you up. I moved it. It's good.
Oh, okay. Good.
Okay, good.
okay.
Mike skills, Lambert. Okay, so let me ask a question that I think, well, first when you see a movie like Muppets or Muppets Most Wanted, and the people are moving around in the same world with the puppets, they're all down by the feet, right?
Yeah.
So how often do you get stepped on?
Oh, well, not very often because I don't have feet.
No, we meant in Hollywood. How often do you literally, like, figuratively
for
get
part
stepped on?
stuff.
Step on, like, agents, producers. You got stepped all over, huh?
So, Lambert, you don't have feet, but I do see you have some nice-looking hands there.
I do. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're not married.
No, I'm not. I'm single. I'm free and
Well,
loving
there
it.
you go.
All right. I think we saw you on that. What we were doing that app where you choose yes or no. I think
Oh, the Tinder.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Are you on Tinder, Lambert?
I have been Tinder before. I caught fire, but
Oh, well,
that's all right. Yeah.
Hopefully
You have to
that-
watch it. You don't want flammable fur.
Well, now that we're talking about relationships, are there interspecies marriages? Is it legal in most states for a puppet to marry?
Sure. I mean, it depends on what you're into. I'm open-minded, though. I say rah.
Rah.
Love is love, right?
So are there, like, puppet bars that you go to and hang out at puppet bars?
Well, I'm not of age as of yet, Lee.
Oh,
But,
Lee?
but when I
Underage.
become of age, if you'd like to go and hang out, we'll cruise
Wait a
chicks
minute.
together.
Hold on. What is official puppet age?
Oh, it's 21, like human world, because we have to abide by human
Yeah,
rules.
you live in this world, you abide by that. Makes sense.
Do you get the right to vote, though? That's always something that's interesting. If
No, that's the thing. We don't, because we can't, break most of the laws. Like I can't drive a car unless someone is driving it for me.
Oh, so they're going to get busted for DWI.
So would
not
you? So instead of like
and
a car,
a lot of puppeteers would.
so
I'm teasing puppeteers.
would you? Is it then? Since you can't drive, and I guess it's kind of hard to get around. Is it socially acceptable for you to ride a dog? Because I would totally ride a dog if I were you.
I would absolutely if someone required that of me as a part.
No,
or
if you just need
for
to
fun.
get somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
And
yeah,
you say, hey,
hitch
that
a
dog
ride.
seems like it's going where I need to go.
Yeah.
But you can't control where the dog goes.
Oh, you can, depending on the collar.
Oh, you've done it
You
before.
like pull on its
Yes.
ears and steer it.
Yeah. Well, I would choose the collar, but whatever you are into.
Well, that way he knows if to go right or left. You got ears that you.
I
can
don't know if
deal
you
with.
want to go cruising chicks with him, Lambert, when you become
I
of
know.
age.
He gets into them and pulls on their ears.
Apparently.
Woo! Here's the direction I want you to go, baby.
I go to a very different bar.
What? Who do you find attractive?
Oh.
Selma Hayek.
In puppet.
Just like Jim?
Well, let's divide it into two questions.
Oh, okay.
Who's the hottest puppet out there?
Oh, probably Miss Piggy. She's pretty.
Yeah, she is well-rounded, too. She has quite a hot body.
She's Rubenesque.
Banging.
She is. Yes, indeed. And she's
Titian.
she'll kick your butt. She'll kick your butt too.
You know who I think
He
is kind of a
likes
looker is that hippie chick.
Janice.
the hippie chick.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
There you go.
She's the exact opposite body type. She is like a stick straight, like a spaghetti.
Yeah, I like 'em thin.
Yeah, that's true.
A little twiggy.
But you know, musicians, woo, they're pretty wild. Might as well.
How about in human people, who do you find hot?
Oh, well, I'm a boy, and I'm.
Yeah, but he still
Question's
finds...
been answered.
You're so stupid. He still finds
I didn't want to
Tom
ask
Cruise
outright,
hot.
Lambert. It's huh?
You would do Tom Cruise.
I would.
I'm just
I would
saying.
bear his child if I could.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, I know good looking. You know, I can.
I'm
judge
sitting right
good
here,
looking.
Lambert.
All right. But so good looking in those terms, good looking male is like, you know, Johnny Depp,
Yes.
Clooney.
Yes.
Now you like
Robert
Johnny
Downey
Depp because he's
Jr.
about
Gorgeous women, I would say Salma Hayek. Yeah, you said Salma.
Yeah,
right?
Jim was talking about that
She's
earlier.
very pretty.
But you like Johnny Depp because he's about your size.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so is Tom Cruise, if I understand correctly.
You know what?
You know, we ask this of every guest who comes on the show.
He plays a giant. Okay.
And from what I understand, has had someone's hand up his butt before. What? Stop it. Quit it. Oh, quit
Paul, you were saying.
it. Okay, yes.
No, I wasn't.
Sorry, Paul.
No, let me ask you. Hey, what is your favorite puppet movie?
Oh, well, my favorite puppet movie is the original Muppet movie, I think.
That's a good one.
You can't get better than that, right?
No.
It's so tender and sweet and innocent and fantastic. But I would also say, in terms of, I guess it's considered a movie, but it was a special. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Oh.
I love the music in that, too.
So good, right?
I do enjoy Emmett
So
Otter.
great,
That's good
and
stuff.
it was also created by Jim Henson, who created the Muppets, and a lot of people. I find that a lot of kids don't know that now.
Oh, no.
Like you say, the Muppets. Jim Henson made them, and kids go, who?
Yeah, but they know about the Divergent movies and books.
Or they know the Muppets, which is great, but they don't necessarily know Jim Henson, and I think that's a real shame.
I got two words for you, Lambert.
Yeah.
Fraggle Rock.
Oh, so great.
Yeah.
So great. Gobo.
I wish I could do the things.
Gobo, Moki,
that-
Wembley, Boober, Red.
Wow, they're all like your friends. You know all their names.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're idols of mine, because I'm younger than they are. I was created by Russ Walco just about 4 years ago.
Oh, you are
4.5
young.
years ago. I'm pretty young.
You're talking quite well for
But,
4-year-old.
Oh yeah, you're definitely not drinking yet.
Yeah, but I love the Jim Henson Company and all they've done for puppets over the years, and
Puppet reform
non-traditional
now.
thing. Mummenschanz. That's
I
pretty
love-
incredible.
Love movement
Oh,
shots
yeah.
where they pull the
Mummenschanz.
things off their eyes.
Yeah.
I love
Toilet
that.
paper.
Toilet paper,
I think
yes.
a lot of performance art takes from puppetry.
I thought
you mentioned-
Mummenschanz was a joke.
No, it's
No,
great.
they were pretty amazing.
What about
They're
puppetry of the
incredible.
penis?
Oh, I haven't
Paul,
done that.
Paul Lambert is 4.
What do you know, Paul?
It's the thing I heard
You're
about.
a tall guy. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm not getting personal, but
I have a question about. I'm trying to figure out if you're a ferret. What? How would you categorize?
Why do you got to bring race into everything?
Your race. I just want to
Why you
gotta
gotta classify?
I have a
Why you got to go
form here,
Divergent on?
and I need to put what you are.
I guess I would probably be classified as a weasel puppet.
Oh.
You can pet me.
Go and touch.
Do you do anything? I know you're only 4, but do you have an occupation other than being a performer? Do puppets do things?
I enjoy.
You have like a night job? You waiting tables or you?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't. I get brushed.
Ooh. How do I get into that line of work?
Not today, by the looks of it, but
My. Is that a comment on my hair, Paul?
you look casual.
You know
today.
what?
All right.
He looks like he's wearing the Travolta. I'm just going out to grab some coffee hair. That's
Oh, yeah.
what.
Do you have
true.
different hair you put
That's
on for
true.
different occasions, like John Travolta?
Your bedhead hair?
Different hair, different. I do. By the way, I do love Adele Dazeem.
She is
Music.
one of the best puppets out there.
Yeah, love her music.
No, it's kind of cool that we can just sit here and talk,
Yeah.
man to puppet,
Yeah.
woman to puppet.
Yes.
But was there a time that this wasn't easy? I don't know, in the South or something? Did you have great time? Did you ever feel oppressed by man's society?
Sure. I mean, my people or my pupple, as it were, we get taken for granted. I mean, people think just because you're puppet, that you're easily manipulated or
They can just make you
have
do
a
things.
sponge brain or something like that.
Manhandle you.
You're fake.
Yeah.
But nothing could be further from the truth. We have souls. We have hearts.
Aww.
You're bringing me
Are
down,
you gonna start
Lambert.
singing, Lambert?
We shall overcome. That's terrible. I shouldn't. No, that's. I'm not making light of people's plights. It's tough, I know, for a lot of people. So much more tough than it is for me. Look how adorable I am.
Well, if I'm not going to throw out my old socks anymore, now I could stick some eyes on them. Next thing you know,
You could have a friend,
I could
Lambert.
have a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I could have a friend.
and Paul could have
Exactly.
a friend for once in his life.
I know.
So sad.
Have you ever thought about going into politics?
The first puppet president.
I'd
Yeah.
like it.
Wait a minute.
Oh wait, no,
That's
we've
already
had
been-
that.
I'd vote for Kermit for president. He'd
Kermit
be
would be
amazing.
He's great
Yeah.
at diplomacy.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
knows, it's not easy being green.
Yeah, but if
He gets all
Kermit's
of it.
president, then the environmentalists win.
Yeah.
Well, they'll
'Cause
think
they
about that with
go
their vote.
Green.
That's bad.
That's a terrible thing.
How horrible.
yeah, the
we
whole
all-
country's gone green.
How terrible. What if we actually tried to save the earth? Whoa, how
I have a-
terrible.
All right, enough of your preaching, puppet.
I have a question though. Are you going to go see the Muppet movie, the one that we were just talking about? What were we talking
Oh, sure,
about?
with
Muppets
Walter
Most
and
Wanted.
everybody.
There you go.
Muppets Most Wanted. Yeah. The Constantine kind of creeps me out. He looks like Kermit, but he sounds wrong.
We thought he sounded like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Did you audition for the puppet movie? Muppet movie?
No.
No.
He's only 4.
I don't have an agent.
Oh,
So,
well.
Yeah, well,
Well, we
that
could
takes a
fix
while.
that. If there's
Puppet
any
agent.
agents out there that want to represent Lambert, just leave a comment on the YouTube page. Or go to movieguys.net.
Please do.
Lambert will come
Sure.
over and wash your car.
Yeah, I do a great job. I use my entire body.
Ooh.
You do kind of look like a chamois.
Yeah.
I just want to have permission in society to move like a puppet. You know what I mean? Like when you thought just now, you thought something was awesome. You went, and you just stick your head. I want to do that more often. I need to learn that it's freeing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also do the Kermit thing, the
I need to do that more often. I need to.
all do.
We should. Yeah.
All right,
Hold
Lambert.
your hands up.
Lambert, I hope you get an agent. You know,
Thank you.
and this Sunday, I think we're all going to go see Muppets Most Wanted. So come
I'm
on, join
excited.
us. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Great.
All right, well, this is great. Lambert, everybody.
Yay!
Thank you.
It's
Thanks,
been
you
fast.
guys.
Anything
Thanks,
else?
everybody.
Anything else to plug? You got going on?
Oh, I'll be entertaining a 1-year-old next week. That's it.
You're a nanny?
No, the lady that I live with.
Oh, I understand.
It's nothing serious. I mean,
Big
we're just
exciting
friends.
times
We're just
for
friends.
you and your friend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Get in depth with our other guest, Jim Coughlin,
Thanks, everybody.
right after another 10-second break. Lambert!
Bye-bye.
We're back, and for the love of God, let's talk Jim Coughlin.
Yay, Jim.
Jim, I'm going to lead with every question we ask every guest or puppet on our show.
Oh, we forgot to ask Lambert what his favorite movie was.
I asked favorite puppet movie.
Oh, that's right.
Muppet movie, which wasn't too
I
much
assume
surprise.
it's the Muppet movie.
I should have included, like movies where there is a puppet, like Never-Ending Story, but I still think Muppet movie's better
And
than that.
if he had said Silence of the Lambs, that'd have been creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would ask, explain yourself, Lambert. Jim, what is your favorite movie of all time?
You know, I have to be completely honest. It's been said before. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yay! Congratulations,
Yeah.
you finally got somebody who got it right.
Am I
You
really
can get it
am I the
wrong.
first?
Yeah, there is a wrong answer here.
Oh, who knew? Yeah, well, there you go.
That is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen that. I'm going to put it
What?
on the list.
No.
Well, it's an investment.
I've not
What?
seen it.
What country were you born
I
in?
know.
Do you
It's-
not have NBC?
You know what? You're
Jeez.
close. We had CBS and ABC. We
No,
only had
you
two.
were rural. You were rural.
Very rural. I'm going to add that.
All right.
though.
She grew up in the middle of nowhere.
One-
She got more Canadian stations.
One
Yeah.
time, it was Christmas Eve in Florida, and I was like, "This is America. I want to watch It's a Wonderful Life."
This is America.
And I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go find it. And I found it at a drugstore.
There you go.
You can get It's a Wonderful Life anywhere
Pretty much.
in America.
Are you familiar with that?
I'm not
very familiar
from
with that
America.
movie? Are you
Yes.
extremely familiar with that
pretty-
movie? Yeah,
pretty-
I
pretty
love
familiar,
that.
yeah.
I don't know why one of my favorite lines from that movie is, "Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from?"
Fantastic.
don't know.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a great 1940s line, or 30s,
Yeah,
or whatever.
say
that is.
brainless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mary, I want to wipe the dust of this town off the world and see the world. Rome, the
Shake the
Parthenon.
dust off the town. Yes.
There's a line in Futurama where he goes something about movie house.
Yeah.
And
Oh, there you are, old building alone.
Merry Christmas, movie house.
Yeah.
And I will quote that, though I have no idea
Never
what I'm
idea.
talking
Yeah,
about.
you'll
Yeah.
quote spoofing It's a Wonderful Life.
Hee-haw.
Sam Wainwright,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I actually have quilts, blankets that say "Welcome to Bedford Falls,"
Nice. Wow.
and I wrap myself in that every Christmas Eve. I watch that, and with my blanket.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old man.
But what are you but a warped, frustrated young man crawling in here on your hands and knees? Why, you're more dead than you are alive.
I'd say in the
Gosh.
horoscope of
You
things,
don't
you're
need to
nothing but
say it now.
a
This
scurvy
sounds-
little spider.
It all sounds so
And that
sad.
goes for you, too.
That's my other
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah, he just randomly yells at somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great.
Oh,
good
my
movie.
lips bleeding, Bert.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Zuzu's pedals. Zuzu's pedals. What else?
And you know they shot that in the summer, and all
Yeah.
that snow is like
Yeah,
Crisco.
it was 70s. I mean, it was in the 80s.
wow.
or
Yeah,
so,
they're sweating their freaking balls off, and it's Crisco that's coming
They
down
got
on them.
they
It's all
got
melty.
a special Oscar for developing a new snow for that movie. Yeah, that's my little trivia to kill the comedy.
Whenever I watch that, whenever I watch that movie, I really wish I had lived in the time and place where you could say things like "I'm an angel" and people would just freak out.
Right.
Like you would
Oh,
just
yeah,
say
no.
like.
Oh, way.
Yeah,
Oh.
like there's a scene where he says, "Well, where do you come from?" "Well, I come from heaven," and the guy just leaves the room because he doesn't know how to deal with that.
Right.
He just
No,
gets up and
that's
walks
the,
out.
the toll booth guy or whatever. The
The bridge conductor.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's like. He like freaks out and walks away. He's like, I can't deal with the guy who says he's from heaven.
Now that happens
look at me,
every day.
I'm giving away wings.
You really need to see this, Karen.
I do, apparently.
It's
Movie jail for
know.
you.
It's on my list. I'll wait until Christmas
I could go
time.
on all night.
Seems
Yeah.
odd now.
Let me ask you this too, because Jim is a stand-up comic extraordinaire.
Oh, boy.
What is your
Oh,
who is
boy.
your favorite stand-up comedian ever?
Ooh.
well
Again, right and wrong answers.
Yeah, this one is now become even more wrong.
Okay.
But he's the best comedian as far as I'm concerned. The funniest.
Michael Richards.
Woody Allen.
Oh.
Despite what he may have done, which he
Allegedly.
I'm becoming more believing that he may have, which I don't want to believe. But the comedy, we're talking specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
If you listen to his really, it's one album of. It's actually two albums, I guess, but it's fantastic. And I didn't come here to do impressions.
May I
I did
Let's
not come
hear
here to
it.
do impressions.
Oh, but you will.
But
Yes, let's hear it.
so I was hunting moose in upstate New York, and I got one. And turns out the bullet only creased his scalp, knocking him unconscious. You know, I've tied this moose to my hood of my car, but it turns out he's only unconscious and he wakes up. You know, so I'm driving through the Holland Tunnel with a live moose on my hood, and the moose starts signaling for a turn. Anyway, that's it. So I never tire of him. Yeah.
Can I offer a retort?
Sure.
George Carlin.
Yeah, you know, he's I can go on about how great he is, but
you should.
But he's not what I most like, which is funny jokes as opposed to brilliant observations.
Okay, I'm glad you stepped directly into my trap.
All right.
Because that was the thing about George Carlin was my introduction to stand-up. And I was
Right.
like, this is it.
Right.
But it is a very unique style and delivery, and he's not a jokey comedian.
Right.
I was surfing the YouTubes the other night and
Yeah,
came
sure.
across an appearance of George Carlin on Carson, and he did jokes. He came out and did one-line jokes, and you saw him as a real stand-up at that moment. So maybe you need to review
Was
this.
this
and then
was
come
this
back.
the early before he had become sort of a hippie? Was his hair long or short?
It was 78, 79. So
okay.
it was,
So he's already gone.
Yeah, he'd
hippie,
already
yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
There's only so much he can do on network television.
Yeah,
But these were one-liners. They weren't.
He's funny, but I'll
Okay.
You ask a question, you get an
I
answer.
know, exactly.
I'll give you an
Only
honest
guys.
answer.
Of course, I go with Carlin too. But
Told
right.
you got it wrong.
Steve Martin's mine, but anyway, yes.
and Dennis Miller, rest in
Steve
peace.
Martin. Steve Martin would be very
Oh,
high
because
up.
he's gone.
I like to mention Emo Phillips, fantastic,
Oh.
and Stephen Wright.
Ugh,
And
yes.
I like-
Always funny.
I like Dennis Miller before he went Republican.
Yeah.
Mitch Hedberg.
We're getting off.
We're getting Bill Hicks
all right.
from
Bill Hicks.
Lambert's
Yes.
roommate.
I do not understand Bill Hicks. I don't get Bill Hicks. He's never said anything that made me laugh.
Bill Hicks is brilliant observation as well. Yeah.
Okay. Paul, next topic.
You know, this is
Next
interesting.
topic.
Now that you're right in front of a picture of Louis C.K., you do sort of look like.
I've been getting that. It's weird. It's weird.
That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, I don't mind being compared to a rich guy.
That's what Louis
Right?
C.K. looks like without a
But,
goatee.
Yeah.
I've actually, I've been getting that lately. I've gone through weird phases where I would get Robin Williams, which
Oh,
most
that's
people
good.
don't see it, but then I
1 hour photo, Robin Williams.
Yes, I actually did that for Halloween. I did that for Halloween, where I got the glasses and the outfit, and I had the vest and everything. But I actually one time was crossing the street, and I was going through a Woody Allen phase, and this young woman turned to me and was like, "Oh," I was like, "What?" She said, "I thought you were somebody else. I thought you were that Woody guy." And for a second, I thought Woody Harrelson.
Yes,
But
you should have thought that.
Of
But I
course.
was wearing, I will admit, a fishing cap, just like he wears in Annie Hall and that type of. So I called it on myself.
That Woody
But-
guy.
That
Yeah.
Woody guy.
Well, she wasn't a super fan. She was just like.
But she understood
just-
that he wore a hat like
she
that.
thought he was wandering East Hollywood.
East Hollywood. Where the hell is East Hollywood?
You look like that guy from Germany, the Adolf guy.
Yeah.
God, what is?
Yes.
the hat.
Oh, I had a moment like that. I had the valedictorian of my high school. We go to a Burger King in college, and he points to a picture. It's Charlie Chaplin, and he says, "The IBM guy." Oh. Because he didn't know the IBM commercials.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Your future of America.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
So now, as I said when I introduced you, you're doing your show Left of Wrong. It's a politics show. Now, how did
That
that
is right.
happen?
Well, it just seemed like the right thing to do. I don't know if it was, but it seemed like the right thing to do, to make fun of things happening in the
Yes,
world of
and
politics. But then you quickly realize what an idiot you are. As soon as you start, you're like, oh gosh.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, what do I got to say about this? Am I going to...
And then you always fall back on the funny. I listened to a few episodes as Jim was coming on, so I wanted to listen.
You're
So-
our first listener. Thank you very much.
Yay!
Well, my pleasure. I'm glad
All
to
right,
be
all
that
right.
one. Fireworks. But no, you don't. If you tune into politics shows, they'll just be like, "Well, today I'm really angry because." Jim will just start with the funny, lead into the headlines, and then make the funny on the headlines.
Yeah,
So that's
with my partner Randy Harkin. I got to mention him. He's a very funny guy. He lives in Burbank.
Oh, Randy's got good taste
Yeah,
in flyover zones.
Yeah.
yes, as you've heard many times.
Yeah, we
today.
have a good time discussing why. Well, I don't even know if we're in agreement. We basically were both progressives. We met. We were both. We went to Las Vegas a bunch of times to campaign for Obama because California is an automatic, guaranteed Democratic vote, for the president. So we knocked on doors about 3 weekends in 2008. And then we said goodbye and just found no reason to talk to each other for 4 years. And then in 2012, we went back to Las Vegas together and knocked on more doors.
All right.
And,
Most people would go there to see strippers, but you go.
You know, if we did see some strippers by chance at night, it was only because it was too late to be knocking on doors.
He was making it rain with flyers, campaign flyers.
For the record, he was getting them registered.
That's right. That's right.
The strippers are home during the day.
There is you would be surprised at how few strippers are registered to vote.
I believe you.
That was
strippers and puppets.
I've tried to convince them to just have a stripper voter get out the vote for poll workers is what we call them.
Polling the poll workers.
You know what amazes me was when I go to Comic-Con, they don't have cosplay strippers. You know what I mean? Like they should have strippers
like
Wonder Woman stripper and all that.
I thought you meant like barbed wire. That was a sort of
like the comic barbed wire. Yeah, have a barbed wire stripper.
Yeah.
I mean, the strippers just strip like they normally do. They wear their shitty thing that falls
wait,
off.
Paul. I'm sorry. You mean somewhere in San Diego at a strip club they should be playing on this theme, not actually having strippers at Comic-Con.
Correctamundo.
Okay. Totally. Thank you.
Can I not make that clear?
You know what?
I was so excited to talk about strippers.
First of all,
and why do you know that they're not doing that?
Yeah, I say he doesn't know.
Because I would put that shit on a postcard and it'd be in my hand if I'm walking in downtown San Diego.
So you were with me, Karen. You wondered why Paul thought there should be strippers on a pole in the middle of Comic-Con.
I think I know why, but...
Well, now that you bring that up, is this a bad idea?
No, it's a great idea. All those nerds would be there in 2 seconds.
Brilliant idea.
Seeing, oh my God. They'd be nervous and sweaty. It'd be perfect.
All you did was remind me I'm not thinking big enough.
Patent pending.
Patent
pending.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to hear this. They're totally going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back to the movies at hand. Those movies being...
What did you see this week?
Wait for it, Jim. There you go.
All right. So what did you see this week? I put it to the table.
I saw Horrible Bosses, Terrible Bosses?
Horrible Bosses.
Horrible Bosses. Have we seen this?
I have.
It is.
We liked it, right?
You did like
we
it.
Saw it.
You saw it. Let me answer for you.
Remember.
You saw it and you liked it because it is one of the rare moments in which the whole plan was, okay, Jason Bateman, you go be charming Jason Bateman. Okay, Charlie Day, you go do Charlie Day thing. And then Jason Sudeikis, you do Jason Sudeikis. And then just take turns doing that for an hour and a half. There's your movie. It worked.
Spacey will do Spacey.
Yep.
And Jennifer Aniston will be smoking
Smoking
hot.
hot.
God,
Yeah.
that was not fair.
That was unhandleable.
So you're saying they made a movie where they had stars portray the type of characters they became famous doing.
And it worked.
But
And
why,
they try that all the time.
but why does it work there and not in Grown Ups too?
Well, I haven't yet seen Grown Ups 2. I'm not that much of a Sondheim freak.
I like how he made you in charge of that.
Yeah.
Well, I put it to the table.
Oh, I thought you were like, Jim, tell me.
Well,
You're
he
here.
brought up Grown Ups too, and you should. It's like, the universally called the worst film of the year. I didn't see it of 2013.
That's why it's almost like I'm punishing Salma by not seeing it yet.
Good for you.
I'm sure she's
Like she's
hurt.
gonna have
Good
to
for
wait
you.
for that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why is Grown Ups 2 no good? Or are we just waiting for this plane to cross?
No, waiting for you to answer what you saw this week.
Yes.
Oh,
What did
yeah.
you see?
I saw.
So enough Grown Ups too. For the love of God, what'd you
I
see?
want to say the best exotic
Marigold Hotel.
Marigold Hotel, but actually, what I saw was the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh,
which
with
is a
Bill
great
Murray.
movie, but it also has a title where you're like, is that the Hotel Grand Buda? I can't get it right.
Right.
The
And
limited
it's-
Darjeeling Budapest
Yes,
exotic
exactly.
marigold.
A Passage to India.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
With
I
Steve
think
Zissou?
great movie.
Really? Yay! I want to see
And
that.
very, obviously, all of those movies they're getting even more like stylized
Yeah.
each movie, which I wonder if they would have more lasting power if it was more heart to it or something like that. But they're totally enjoyable while you're watching it. I just wonder if his movies would last if they weren't as stylized.
Well, they're
I don't know.
presented.
I
Yeah.
think
These are,
that
instead of.
I think that he
being
single-handedly came up with a whole hipster generation.
That's possibly true.
It's like you're
Yeah.
watching a hipster movie.
Yeah.
And
It
to
is.
answer your question, I think they do hold up and they do last. And
Okay.
because here's what happened. Sunday, I really wanted to see Grand Marigold Budapest Darjeeling Limited.
Yes.
And I didn't have that. And I put in Rushmore and I was completely satisfied. Just
All
was
right.
like,
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
It's like
Yeah.
a warm
Yeah.
bath.
Yeah, how old is that movie now? It's got to be
Yeah.
15 years?
15
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
70s, 1997 or 98.
97 or 98, yeah.
Yeah.
I was dating Vegas Kathy. We broke up because she didn't understand that movie.
Because she wasn't a registered stripper who could vote.
Now wait, were you
No,
registering
no.
people to be strippers or to be voters?
We were getting
two totally different forms.
We were getting some 18-year-olds into some classes. That's all I
They
care
had
about.
to read Divergent as well as part of their course study.
The worst part's
Now-
got to be to go get a stripper when the offices are open where you can register them. That's not the high-end hours of the day for strippers.
Yeah, daytime strippers are never good.
I will say this. I do believe that I did meet some strippers door to door, knocking on doors. where it
Oh,
would
sure
be
you
like-
did. You knock on 10 doors, you're going to meet one.
Yeah, it'd be like, humana. Nice leopard print bra.
Oh.
Can I tell you about Obama?
They're like, sure.
Yeah.
Paul and I saw Everything is Awesome.
The Lego
Everything
movie.
is great when you're part of a team.
That's the Lego
Everything
movie?
is awesome. I didn't like it at first. I was sitting there going, I don't like this movie. And then about half an hour into it, I'm like, all right, well, maybe I like this movie. What I didn't like at the beginning is I couldn't look at it. I couldn't see it. It's so much stuff going on, and everything's got that texture of being a Lego, and that was kind of bugging me because I know that they're made out of Legos, but I was having a lot of trouble with it. And then I started to like it, and then I loved it.
I've had that problem too, where
So
I
weird.
literally can't look at everything that's on the
Yeah.
screen.
You can't. But I'm sure that's part of the plan.
It's
can't
such
see
a
it.
weird idea that we're going to animate plastic toys
Yeah.
and make something, and then that's a great thing, apparently.
It bugged me. I'm telling you, it really bothered me. But the story is awesome. And then by the time you're done watching it, you're just going, well, that was great.
Yeah, there's a
Brilliant.
big turn the movie takes at the end that is
Awesome.
high quality. That movie is fantastic. I love the
Yeah.
beginning and the end. I'm like, Karen, I think
Now
it's
I want to go
hilarious.
rewatch it.
I mean, there's points where, the whole thing's animated, but you can see the fingerprints on the toys.
Yeah.
From people having been they've been played with.
Oh, wow.
It's really cool.
And
That's
once
just a
you
little
know-
tiny thing.
I bet you there's inside jokes now that you know what's going on.
Oh, there's so many inside jokes.
Oh,
and
I gotta
so many,
rewatch it.
And it's just all about being funny. They don't even care to have their huge
Batman is-
story makes sense.
Batman, I will say this won't ruin it for anyone, but that Batman, after the movie, I was talking to Paul, I go, Batman's not a good boyfriend.
Oh,
Yeah, he's not a good boyfriend. It's hilarious.
I think he's kind of proven that though before. I mean,
I think he has.
He's
Bruce
tough
Wayne,
to date.
not a
he's
good
tough to
boyfriend.
date. It's not his fault.
No.
His attentions are divided.
That's a bad pun. Will Arnett. I mean, come on, he's great.
And also,
Neeson's
this is
great.
not giving anything away either, but there's a fantastic cameo by the black guy in Star Wars.
Oh, Lando Calrissian.
Holy shit!
Voiced by Billy D. Williams.
Nice.
Shows up. Hilarious.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
bring
whole
me
movie
on.
is really funny. And it manages to be hip and of the moment without seeming like it'll just fade away and be
Yeah.
only of this year. I think the movie will stick around. Plus, they're already onto a sequel, and rightfully so. It's
Oh,
great.
good. Yeah.
And then to the opposite of that, I saw 300 Rise of an Empire, which back when the first one came out, it seemed like this really cool thing. And now, I don't know why, 6 years later, now it's just silly.
You know the hardest thing about
With the slow-mo and the fake blood and it was weird.
Men in skirts. So was it gay?
I told you it wasn't that gay. I thought it would be gayer than it was.
That's what I'd say if I went and
Do
saw
you guys have a gay meter for shows you watch?
Yeah.
Well, that's a 6.4.
Yeah.
We saw buttocks, but it wasn't that attractive. So
no.
Muppets Most Wanted. I'm imagining that'll be like a 1.
No.
Right. 'cause that won't
Divergent.
be gay.
Divergent probably
unless
like a
you're-
7.
Unless you're a furry.
Ooh, then it could be
then
really
it's
hot.
an 11.
If you're a brony or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Now it's time for our big finale, or what my mom calls the finally. Karen's birthdays, where Karen takes a look at the dream wizards out there who are celebrating birthdays this week. Karen.
All right, let's start off our week of birthdays by dedicating a whole birthday segment to wishing a happy birthday to our main movie guy, Paul Preston.
Yay, Paul Preston.
Now, there is no documentation on Paul's actual age, but he could play anywhere
you.
from one of two guys drinking in a bar to a movie guy. According to IMDb, Paul has cornered the market on playing bodyguards, first on General Hospital, and most recently on Instant Mom.
Well, you're
Instant Mom.
splashing my resume out there.
Yes, I wasn't able to find any
Not
instances.
what I would do, but go ahead.
You know how I often like to find out where people like the Sally Field, people like that have been naked in a
Yes,
movie?
Karen.
Yes.
What research on your husband did you discover?
I was doing some
why was
research
it more
on Paul
thorough, for the love of
Preston.
What is it you don't know after 15 years
Well,
of marriage?
you'll see. This is interesting.
10 casting
when you
directors are
Google,
listening.
Yes, 10 minutes. There were no instances of Paul being naked in a movie because I checked at Mr. Skin, my usual go-to source for this
She spent
information.
4 hours making sure there was nothing of
I
Paul.
had to look at some Liam Neeson clips. I was checking lots of important things. So instead, I decided to search Google. And so I put in, I am not kidding you, Paul Preston naked. Very first thing came up was a book called The Spanish Holocaust by Paul Preston.
That's the guy who's been out Googling me for years. He's a British historian.
What does that have to do with being naked?
I don't know.
I just like the idea.
You don't want to see him naked, though. He's a giant, fat British guy.
I just like the idea of being out Googled.
Yeah. He'll rise to the top. He's
Now-
the cream. I'm the coffee.
According to the Movie Guy's official website, Paul's brain, this is quotes, is hardwired to the movie screen for film trivia, facts, and 24/7 sensory overload of the entertainment mecca of the world.
All true.
So, I thought, why not? We all test him in his movie knowledge.
Oh, geez.
So we're going to do a little movie trivia throwdown. All of us, except me, because I have the answers, against Paul.
Okay.
All right, so here's the rules. The rules is I will ask a movie trivia question.
All right.
Listen to the whole thing, even if you know the answer. Paul will get the first shot at answering. If he doesn't get it right, or if he passes, which hopefully you'll get it right, then the rest of us can guess, and whoever gets it right gets a point. Okay?
All right,
All right. And the people at home listening or watching, you get to play along too, because if you hear Paul get one wrong and you knew the answer, feel free to give him shit in the comments section of the YouTube or on the Movie Guys. The more
Okay.
people that give him a hard time about that,
Okay.
the better. All right. So, any questions about the game? All right.
Oh, are we trying? He's trying. He answers
He
first.
goes first.
I answer
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
And
good,
we
good,
don't
good,
help
good.
him.
Go ahead.
Good.
All
I'm
right.
sure you don't.
Him in The Big Lebowski. I had to make it fair, so I had to do ones
Appreciate
that
it.
we know.
Appreciate it.
What is the dude referring to when he says it's really tied the room together? It's really tied the room together. I can't say it like him. Say it like him.
It really ties the room together.
All right. Is he referring
Man.
to man? The
Okay,
curtains?
multiple choice?
Yes.
It's the rug.
It's the
Well,
right.
I had funny ones.
Oh, go ahead.
Is he referring to the curtains, the rug, the TV, or Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi does tie a scene
It's,
together.
it's Steve Buscemi, man.
Man,
So
like
you got
the
that
rug.
one right. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, you got to listen to
I
all
will
the.
listen to the
for the
first.
record, Jim and I knew that.
comedy
Too.
answers.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
all right.
All right, make room for Karen's comedy.
What are the names of the main characters in Natural Born Killers? Mickey and Martha, Mickey and Mallory, Mickey and Mary, or Mickey and Maud?
Mickey and Mallory Knox.
Yes!
Mickey and Mallory Knox.
That's such a
did
creepy
you know
movie.
that,
I
Jim?
love it.
No.
I did not either.
Oh, I
So-
did. But I haven't paid you. Knew.
I don't-
Jamie
I-
knows
Oh, it's
all.
between me and Jamie. It should be the,
All right.
Never seen
contest.
This is fun. All right. What is the name of the main character in Goodfellas? Henry Hill, Harry Hill, Harris Hill, or Ray Liotta?
That's a
Henry
trick
Hill.
question.
Yes.
That
Oh,
one, I think I know.
Who is Ferris Bueller? I'm totally choking on. Okay,
On your
sorry.
comedy?
Yes, my comedy's killing me. Who is Ferris Bueller's girlfriend? Sloane, Cameron, Jill, or Mrs. Poole?
Sloane Peterson.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how they are in
A
that.
woman dies? You're making jokes?
Everybody do yours. Yes. In 1984 action comedy Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley does all of the following but one of these. He drives a blue Chevy Nova, gets thrown out of a window, puts a banana in a tailpipe, or yells, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!"
He does not yell yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, like Bruce Willis did in 1988's Die
No
Hard.
bonus points here, Paul.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
answer
Yeah,
the
yeah,
question.
sorry.
It is your
Answer the
birthday. Have you
question in
noticed?
front of you.
All right.
Claire.
In 1980 movie Airplane, the plane is going to Chicago, the pilot's going to New York. The passengers are going to Vegas, Paris, Paradise, or Pieces.
Wait, ask again.
In 1980 movie Airplane, the plane is going to Chicago, the pilot is going to New York, and the passengers are going to Vegas to see strippers and sign them up for Obamacare, Paris, Paradise, or Pieces.
Wow, that's an excellent question. I'm going to say Paris.
You're wrong!
Oh, I'm wrong. Is it Pieces? Is he
It's Pieces! Oh, okay, so us, we get a point.
I kind of didn't
Pieces?
understand the question.
Is that a quote from the movie?
It's totally cool for the movie. And
All right.
Well, now I feel stupid.
I thought it would be funny because you probably thought I was making that up.
Wow.
We did.
I did. I thought that was the comedy.
The arm falls off, right?
I was like,
Then
that wasn't
that's,
funny. It must have been a character. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
which
Go ahead.
Rocky movie came out in 1982? Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, or Rocky Horror?
82? Rocky 2, Rocky...
Thank you, Vanessa.
That's Rocky 3.
Yes, you got that right.
Wow.
All right, only two more.
Good one.
And now this one you'll totally know. In Raising Arizona, oh, you might not know. This is very specific. In
Have you not
Raising
seen it?
Arizona, what is the brand of diapers that Nicolas Cage steals? Pampers, Huggies, Loves, or no diapers at all? He went commando.
He didn't wear them.
I'm just saying.
I'll be taking these Huggies and any cash you got.
All right.
Son,
Well,
you got a
did very
panty on
well.
your head.
Wait, that's it. Paul wins.
Yay!
8-1.
Clean sweep, Mr.
Happy birthday,
You did
Paul.
this. You did this on a birthday a few years ago at a party with a
Yes.
living room full of people,
And
the people were instructed to say "suck it, Paul" when I got a question.
I remember
Right,
that.
and they screamed it at him. It was awesome.
Suck it, Preston, I think.
Second
Second Preston, and it was all Indiana Jones, and there were hard ones that you were getting wrong, and people would scream at you.
Would anyone like to do the last few Statler and Waldorf jokes we have?
Oh, I thought those were drops.
Oh no, that music!
I heard that music before. What music is that?
Exit music!
That was great. I wish that girl would sing solo.
So low that you can't hear her.
And that guy should sing tenor.
Yeah?
10 or 20 miles away from here.
All right, let's go out with Karen has no singing celebrities
I was
today.
going to get you singing, but you would have been on to me. So would you
Oh.
sing us out, Paul?
No, we're going out with more Muppets.
All right.
You can't have too much Muppets, right?
You know what that movie had? Too many Muppets. No one's ever said that.
No one says that.
Hey, that's another movie showcast, everybody. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at The Movie Guys, at Facebook.com/The Movie Guys, is YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Vine, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that shit. Steve Whitmire, that's the voice of Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Found that out in the break. And thanks to Jim Coughlin.
Yay, Jim.
Left of Wrong is on RadioTitans.com. You can go listen to his politics show. And thanks to the triumphant return of Jamie Clark Elvington on the board. And the triumphant return of former guest Vanessa Whitney.
Yay, thank you.
Life to Lambert. We had the pleasure of interviewing her, of course, and Steve Scholes for his writing contributions to the show every week. And remember, you can always find everything we're up to at themovieguys.net. Thanks for listening. It's Swedish.
Oh. Sounded vaguely racist.
This is Yes, We Have No Bananas. And
No, that would
Swedish.
be that Star Wars movie. That's George Lucas.
Shrimpy, 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 shrimpy.
I didn't understand a word of that.
Met Bruce no letter flute flute.
Well, why didn't they say that in the first place?
Movie Guys!